Hello my friends, in this video we're going to make elderberry juice. Right now it's June the 3rd and it's season for picking these flowers now and making this juice. It's a very delicious juice and it's great for summer, holiday, served cold. But you have to pick it right now when the elderberries are blooming. They started blooming like 5 days ago and they will keep blooming for the next about 10 days and then it's over. So get out and pick some flowers and start making this juice. It's right now. I have over here, I picked a bag full of these. I did that last night, and as you can see, it's not difficult. You just take off all the flowers, do it like this, and keep doing this until you have done all of your flowers that you have picked. Now I'm going to make a lot of juice here. I'm going to make about 12 liters. So I picked like 200 of these elderberry flowers. Um, but of course, if you make less, you just pick less of these flowers. But I'd say the more of these flowers you pick and use to make this juice, the more intense and rich the flavor of this juice will be. Uh, but I'm not going to show you how I pick all of these flowers, but I'm going to show you how to prepare the brine, where we have to heat them up and then let them stand for a couple of days to suck up all the taste. Over here I have this big pot that I have prepared with some water in it. I don't know, there are about 7 liters of water in it. It's a 14-liter pot. And now we're going to put a lot of sugar in it. And it has to be about 50% sugar. So I'm going to put I'm going to put about 7 kilos of sugar in it. Let's do that. There's 1 kilo in each of these bags. And you have to bring this to a boil, but you know, it'll also take me some time to pick the rest of these flowers. So it will be boiling by the time I'm done with that. So now we added 5 kilos of sugar. I'll need more sugar, but I'll wait with it until I tasted it, how sweet it is. Let me see. The other ingredients are over here that we need to add. We need to add some lemon acid. That's something you can buy in the supermarkets. It's this white powder that's extremely acidic. And also you should taste it in order to see how much you will add. But I'm making a lot here, so I'm going to add 3 of these bags. And how much do I have here in each? 32 grams. I'm adding another one. So that was sugar and lemon acid. And now a final ingredient will be these lemons that I will squeeze and add the juice from that. And then I'll also take off the lemon zest here with this microplane in order to add some more flavor to it. And that's basically all the ingredients. But I'll be back when I have picked all these flowers here, and I'll show you how the rest of the process is. Okay, I'm back and I have finished all these elderberry flowers. I have finished getting rid of all the unnecessary parts, so it's only the flowers that are left. So let's measure how much I actually have here. I'll put this scale here at 0 because I want to know in my recipe how much I'm using of this. I'm using 640 grams of these flowers that are processed, you could say. So over here we have the sugar water brine with also this lemon acid in it. So why is it brown or slightly brown? It's slightly brown because I didn't stir around in the sugar, and then apparently the sugar started to brown a little bit on the bottom of this big pot. But I tasted it. It tastes great. Really it does. It tastes like soda water, just a very much more intense because it's 50-50 water and sugar. But I think I will put one more of these bags of lemon acid in it. And it goes in and it boils up while it dissolves. And also let's take the temperature here. Now it's 90 degrees Celsius or nearly 200 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll let it boil up a little more to get a little higher temperature. Meanwhile over here, well, when you do all this cleaning up of these flowers, there are some insects in it for sure. So if you're afraid of a little bit of spider here and there, maybe this is not for you because this is Mother Nature. You get it directly from the nature where they're full of all kind of insects living on these trees. But it will all be boiled, so it doesn't really matter. And what else can I say? The taste in this flower comes from the pollen. So it's really the pollen that is the key to the great taste of elderberry juice. And that's why you have to pick these flowers while they're blooming. Before they're blooming, they haven't produced these pollen and you won't get any taste for it. And of course, after they have bloomed, there's neither any taste because the pollen will all be dead and gone. And also try to pick them while they just spring out, so they're kind of fresh. What does the temperature say? Yeah, it's 203 degrees Fahrenheit, 95 degrees Celsius. That's close enough. I rather that it doesn't boil because that just makes it more difficult to mix it. Let's put it in. It looks like a lot, but really isn't. It's only 640 grams as we just measured. So I will use this one to get it down. And as you can see, it doesn't raise the water level by a lot, but it starts to smell wonderful. That's great. Okay. And while you handle this, you can see this yellow powder. That's basically this pollen. Here on this one, it's easier to see. This is the tasteful pollen that's on these flowers. Well, let's put it down, submerge it. And now it becomes more yellow, the water as it should from this pollen. And I wanted to add a little more sugar, but I decided to do it after I've put this in, just to see how much it would raise the level in this pot. But now I think I can add some sugar. Like we can still have a little more in this pot. Yeah, 1 more kilo there. So how much have I added now? 7.5 kilos of sugar. Of course, you don't need to make as much as I do here. This is the limit for this pot. There's about 14 liters to the edge, so I think we have done 13 liters here. Now, I almost forgot, but we also need to put some lemon zest in this stuff here to give it a little bit of extra flavor. And I have them over here, these lemons. And we are going to use a microplane grater. You can use whatever you want, but I really recommend buying this. It's so easy to grate almost anything. It's such an improvement from other graters I've been using. And I think I'm just going to use 2 lemons for this. Because it's quite strong, the taste of this, and I don't want it to overwhelm the elderberry flowers. I'll just use 1 more. And I'm using organic lemons, of course, for this. Okay. And then we go over here, we cut them. I could use all 3, but I think I'll use this for some other stuff. Get the juice out. It's not as strong, the lemon, when you have de-zested it, so it might break up when you do this, as it does here. So it's a little harder to do this. And it's also not as easy to grip. But okay, we do as good as we can. And I'll get a fork here, just to get my stones out. Be sure there are no stones in it. Let's see if some stones let through here. Nope. And then this lemon also get in. We don't want this to boil. And here we go, we stir it a last time. Now it's finally mixed. Now all we have to do is put a lid on here, set it aside. I set it aside for 2 or 3 days just to soak up all the taste and also to cool down completely. And then I will filter it And after that, heat up again the filter juice simply to sterilize it, to be sure it's free of any germs or anything. And then we'll sterilize some glasses and put it into these glasses for long-term storage. But I'll be back to show you that part of the process in a couple of days. Okay, I'm back. A couple of days has passed and this thing here has just been sitting here. I think it has been sitting here for 4 or 5 days. Let's take a look at it. It's definitely done. All we need now is to filter it and also put it up in these glasses and also be sure that it becomes sterilized so it can keep itself without getting bad. It's pretty heavy. It's like 14 kilo. Over here I have this colander and just well, it's my mixer bowl from my stand mixer. My idea is simply to take it up here. By the way, when I was out picking all these flowers, I was eaten by a lot of mosquitoes. So there's a little price to pay. Mosquitoes apparently like to hide in these trees that has these flowers. I got bitten in my head because that was the only place they could bite me. They disappeared after like 2 days. Then it didn't itch at all anymore. So it's a small price for this super delicious thing here. It's much better to do this yourself rather than buy this in a supermarket where you can buy it, yes, as elderberry juice, but it doesn't taste as good. It tastes far less intense. You know, I've used probably 5 times as many elderberries as they use for making this stuff you buy in a supermarket. So the intensity of the flavor is also much higher. But okay, I think I will shut down my cameras and I'll be back when all this here has been filtered roughly. Now I'm back here. I have a change of heart because as you can see, I can't get this filtered. Whenever I try to take this up, only a little bit comes up and you know, that's not effective. So I have to pour this juice through this colander in order for this to work. But then I'm out of space. This one is much bigger than this one here. But I have 2 more pots in my kitchen that I think I'll use, and then I hope that it will fit. And then the idea is to pour it back into this and then heat it up, because of course this will get contaminated. It won't last long. So I'll heat it up in order to sterilize it again. But let's see if this will work out. I hope it does. But here we go. Let's see how much we got. We can put a lot more down. And it smells lovely. I can tell you that. It really smells good. Let's go. Let's go for this one. And then we go here. Oops. Rubber scraper just to get the last impurities out here. But I am planning to filter it one more time, but maybe it won't be needed, I don't know. And now we are going to put this back and put some heat on. It's like a syrup. And then I think I'm going to squeeze a little bit more out of this, because this is also, maybe I should just use my hands here. They will get greasy. I use all the power I have here in my fingers to get this done. But you can clearly squeeze out a lot more. Okay, I think that's enough. And then I'm really I'm going to throw this out. It smells really good. That much I can tell you. So if it smells good, it'll also taste good, of course. And it's all organic, that's for sure. Maybe I should have a taste of it. I have some water over here. Let's have a taste. It's absolutely great. It's worth all the effort. Absolutely. And then you have this for the summer. You can make drinks of it. Okay, we are back here. I've been heating this juice up and it's very hot. And I've been tasting it. I think it can take a little more sugar. I still have some sugar left here in my kitchen. I'll just give it the rest. And that will be absolutely the last chance we have here to put more either acid in it or sugar in it. And this time I'm going to stir in it because the reason it is brown in the color, it will get brownish in the color, but I also think I caramelized some of the sugar because I didn't stir when I put it in this pot in the first time. We don't want to make that mistake here. But I'm just going to have this dissolved. It won't take long. And then over here I have a pot with hot water, and I'm going to use that to sterilize all these glasses that I have over here. Let's take a temperature. This one is saying 84 degrees Celsius, and in Fahrenheit it's 182 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's definitely hot enough. And over here, I think we can turn the heat down. Let's see, it's 200 degrees Fahrenheit, 94 degrees Celsius. I won't heat it up anymore. You can also see here on top now, we have some bubbles coming up there. This is done, and it's too hot to touch. It's because it's gas and the warm gas is coming up and heating the handles. But we are done. Goes over here. Here I'm going to heat the lid. I'm also going to heat the rubber. Then I'm going to take this up. First glass up. And then I'm going to take this can here and then we're going to fill that one more time. I'm going to put some of them in my freezer. So that's why I don't want to fill it completely up, because it needs some room for expansion. Take the lid up here. It's very hot, so how do I do that? I have to use my fingers. It's okay. First glass. Let's put it over here. It looks good, doesn't it? But it's very hot, this glass. Next glass. And also down it goes. It's almost 100 degrees Celsius or 200 degrees Fahrenheit, so I think it's sterilized pretty fast. And then we simply pour it up here. This one needs to cool a little bit so I can touch it with my hands or fingers. So I'll take that up first. And then we put these clamps on. I think it's going fine. But I'm not going to show you how I do this with all the glasses. I'll be back when I filled it up and then I'll explain a little more. Okay, now I have made a lot of glasses over here. Maybe this camera will pick it up better. How many? 13 glasses, and I'm down to the last glass. Is here. So let's get it done. First again, I show you how to sterilize this. Just pick one of these up, down almost boiling water here with both of them. And then I take my lid up and put it over here. Of course, it has to cool a little bit before I can actually touch it. So I do that first. And then my last glass. And at this point, I started simply to pour from the big pot here itself, because it was easier than trying to put the can into this. So here we go. Yeah, it just fit this glass. That's great. Just precisely. So 14 glasses is what I got from this harvest. And it doesn't cost any more than the sugar, because you can pick the elderberry flowers in a public park or in your garden or wherever they grow. Just pick them. Nobody will bother that you pick them. It's kind of a tradition that we do that here in Denmark, and there are plenty of people out there picking these flowers. But I think this is a nice harvest. 14 glasses. I have this for the whole year now. But that's really all I wanted to say. It's a wonderful thing. You should go out and pick these flowers. They're still blooming. It's the 8th of June, and they're still blooming for perhaps one more week, and then it's over. But then, of course, next year. The only thing I have to say now is I wish you a great life in freedom and democracy. Goodbye.